Many of us were told to get out as Hurricane Florence approached the East Coast, but a lot of you asked why weren't tolls lifted on the tunnels?
Tonight, 10 on Your Side looks into why you had to pay the price to leave town. It's not as easy of an answer as you'd think. Good evening to you. Some say it was controversial enough to evacuate nearly 250,000 people from low-lying areas of Hampton Roads.
But two of their main ways to get out would cost them a couple of bucks along the way. Both the downtown and midtown tunnels ended up keeping tolls in place during the Zone A evacuation order, which means they were in place when people came back as well. However, other tolls, such as the 64 express lanes, Chesapeake Expressway, and the Coleman Bridge, were lifted for most of the week. So why the difference? 10 on Your Side's Andy Fox is on toll patrol tonight. Andy?
Tom and Anita, it comes down to what is a primary evacuation route. But if people are avoiding tolls and going to the free places like the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, it can lead to massive congestion. Here's the issue. Governor Ralph Northam thought it important enough to order a mandatory evacuation for Zone A, but VDOT did not lift tolls to go along with that evacuation. VDOT Communications Manager Holly Christopher.
The downtown and midtown tunnels are located in non-primary evacuation routes, and so our attentions and our efforts were focused on our primary evacuation routes of 64 and 664.
It was VDOT that made the decision not to lift the tolls on the tunnels. We got lots of emails like Mark's. Outrage. You would think during an evacuation, public safety would be more important than money. Christopher says public safety is the most important issue and points out VDOT did lift some tolls.
The Coleman Bridge toll was lifted on Tuesday.
The Chesapeake Expressway in and out of North Carolina always lifts tolls when there is a mandatory evacuation in Dare County. Chesapeake City Engineer Earl Sorey. Now, when you hear that Virginia had a mandatory evacuation for Zone A,
right,
and they did not lift the tolls at the downtown and midtown tunnels, does that surprise you?
They certainly have different policies and procedures in place.
Sorey does not want to judge VDOT, but emphasizes for them mandatory evacuation means lift tolls.
When that evacuation order goes in place, we lift the tolls. Absolutely. And it's just emergency management 101.
The Chesapeake Expressway closed down for 6 full days, and it costs between $60,000 and $80,000 in lost tolls. And they don't care. If we're having a mandatory evacuation, we need to lift the tolls.
Again, that decision is made at the commissioner's level, and if we were going to make any changes, it would happen during that after-action review.
Now, that review has not taken place yet. If there is a change in the standard operating procedure about evacuations and lifting tolls, we'll be sure to let you know. At the downtown tunnel, Andy Fox, 10 on Your Side.
All right, Andy, thank you. Meantime, the city of Norfolk wants to know if you left your home following the state's evacuation order. The city also wants to know if you didn't, why? People in Zone A are the first to go because it doesn't take much to flood there. We'll post information on that quick survey on WAVY.com.